What's up, guys? Crazy Black 108 here, and I'm back with another video. Today, guys, I'm going to give you my thoughts and review over The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 2, Chapter 10, The Passenger. So, quickly before we go into this whole video, guys, I wanted to just say that, there is going to be some content coming to the channel in the coming days and weeks involving Star Wars stuff. What that means is we will have Star Wars action figure reviews coming, like over this Captain Pyre right here, or Commander Pyre, I said Captain, I'm thinking Captain Cardinal, from, Star Wars Resistance, but also Galaxy's Edge. We'll have some stuff involving Star Wars Adidas shoes, like the Darksaber Mandalorian shoes that came out this week, or some old Star Wars Adidas shoes that came out last year that need to have reviews, and one that came out this year as well too, besides the Darksaber. And if I pick up other things, who knows? There'll be stuff like that. But let's get into my thoughts on this episode. So this episode picks up where the previous episode left off, with Mando and the child going through the desert on Tatooine, trying to get back to Mos Eisley. Along the way, they get run into with some bounty hunters, and those bounty hunters are, of course, after the child. Mando takes care of them very swiftly, and we see more scenes of him and the child having these interactions in which they are trying, or the child really is seeing the way in which Mando does things, which is he lies about, not harming the creature and stuff that tried taking the child. And a very cute scene where the child runs across over to Mando, or to Din, as he picks him up, and then the bounty hunter that was running off with the jetpack, he does some stuff on his control gauntlet and makes it activate and flies off, and it's very nice little comical scene. But then, he treks all the way back through to Mos Eisley because the speeder bike gets destroyed when they, jump him there, and between those rock little canyon there. And he gets this, he's trying to find, more Mandalorians still, and he gets a new lead that they're on this other planet that he has to get there by, not traveling through hyperspace, but going at sublight speeds, because he has this passenger of this frog lady who's trying to take her, she has basically the last chance of her civilization, her species living, is if they get to this planet, and she's the one that knows where the Mandalorians are at because her husband has been in contact with some Mandalorians. And so I think that's all very sweet, and a lot of people, I think, will watch this episode and be like, oh, it's a filler episode, it's a filler episode. While I can see maybe the thought process there, I can see how you see it as a filler episode, I can see how this makes you feel that way, this, then, the third. The thing that I like about Star Wars television shows right now is that as a Star Wars television show, you really can give more time to develop and flesh out these characters and really get you to know and understand them. And also, this episode could have a bigger crux to play later in the season or series, and I'll kind of get to that later on towards the video. But basically, it's an episode where it's a side quest, adventure of the week type of story. Because, Mando and the child and the frog lady all aboard the Razor Crest, and they're traveling, at sublight speeds. He gets awakened out of his sleep to find two T-65 X-Wings that are, flanking him. They're trying to run his codes and stuff because they're out doing scans for, Imperial holdouts. He sends a little bit of information they need, but then they find out, Razor Crest, were you in the same sector as the New Republic prison? That the stuff from season 1, chapter, was that 5, I think, where he does the whole prison break thing. So as soon as he hears that, he tries avoiding them, and that's how he ends up crash landing on the ice planet. He does some really cool maneuvers too. I love it when he cuts the engines and the Razor Crest just begins to fall and plummet towards the planet, and the frog lady is in the back just losing her mind, bro. That's such a fun moment. It's just very funny and cool. And I don't know why, but the frog lady, the way her performance is done, and then I think she was voiced by D. Bradley Baker. All those different pieces, she's really adorable and really endearing. That's how at least she comes across to me, and I really feel for her. It's this is the last bit of her species, and she's trying to keep her species alive, so she has to go and to get her eggs fertilized. I said, wow, this is really touching. And so it makes it really kind of it's one of my least favorite parts of the episode, how it's continuously played for laughs that the child keeps on eating the eggs. All the way to the end of the episode, he's still doing it. And it's kind of funny, but it's also just really bro, this is this is wrong. This is like really wrong. And you know, Din is also trying to get him to stop multiple times throughout the episode. Like when they crash land after trying to avoid the X-Wings, right? And one of them's Trapper Wolf, so Dave Filoni, the GOAT. Season 1 Trapper Wolf, like, come on, man, that's dope. They're the ones that are flying after the Razor Crest. And so anyway, he avoids them, but he crashes on the planet, sinks into the ice. And so for a while there, he's basically like gonna give up, trying to get her to where she needs to go. But so they fall asleep, and then she uses the droid, which was one of the bounty hunter droids that was in the first season. She's able to activate and access his like, I won't call it a vocabulator because I'm not sure that's what it's called. My memory's blanking on that right now. But basically, she accesses his ability to be able to hear her speak, because Mando can't understand what she's saying. So to hear her speak so that she could then communicate with him. And she talks to him about how, you know, like, this is important. Like, these are my, like, this is my last chance of my people's existence. And, you know, I know you're saying you're not going to do this, but, like, I thought Mandalorians were, you know, people of their words. And he's like, I guess that's just, you know, children's tales. And it's really, I don't know why, but like for me, it really touches my heart the entire episode, because I really feel for her, and I can't even really articulate fully as to why, but just on an emotional level, I really connect, and it really resonates. Just like, damn, like this is, like, I really like, you know, this really does kind of suck. But anyway, so he gets up and starts working to fix the ship. And during that time, she leaves, and the child tries telling him, like, hey, I mean, she's gone, bro, like, whatever. So they follow after her tracks, and they go into this ice cave. And as soon as they go into this ice cave, I'm like, yo, we about to see some wampas? Are we about to see something else? Like, what's going on? So she's taking like a bath in like this spring water, which is cool, you know, whatever. And she has her eggs in there too to try to keep them warm. And so, you know, Din's like, no, I can't protect you if you're out here. Like, we have to come back to the ship. So he starts helping her grab the eggs, and he tells the child, like, no, like, don't even touch them. Just stay away from it. So the child gets kind of upset, so he walks off kind of sad over to these little like pods that are on the ground. And as soon as I saw pods, I was like, that's a spider. Those are spiders, aren't they? Child cracks open one of the pods. I see the spider he pulls out. It's the, I'm going to call it the Krykna. It's someone with a K. But they're the same spiders that have been shown, like the Ralph McQuarrie concept art from back when they were supposed to be an Empire. And then they finally made their canonical appearance, I guess you'd say, in Rebels originally. And then they also were like in Legends content. I think Darksaber may have been the first book they were in. I think it was Darksaber, where they actually made like their first like appearance and at the time canon stuff, right? But so as soon as I see the child scream, I'm like, ugh, first no. But after he does that, all the pods start awakening, and they all start popping up and forming, and then here comes the big one, and now they're on the run. So now they're running away. They get back to the ship. They hide in the ship. Mando is blowing them like it's like, you want to talk about like pinpoint accuracy aim, bang, 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 like he's like shooting them all. It's pretty dope. I like that entire sequence as they're running away, going to the ship, trying to continuously shoot them down. He's using the flamethrower as well. It's like, it's really cool sequence. And then they're about to try to take off. It's like, I hope this works. And you have the theme start kind of playing the joyful, like, oh yeah, it's going. And then like the theme gets knocked down the same way the ship does when the giant Krykna spider comes back and falls on top of the Razor Crest. And when that happens, it's like, damn. And it like pops holes in the canopy of the ship too. It's like, oh no, like this is all bad. But then you start hearing laser fire from outside. The laser fire first sounds like, I forget what gun it is, but it's the guns that the Rebel Alliance uses now in the New Republic, and it turns out it is them. And sure enough, Mando goes outside, and there's still a couple spiders that are in the Razor Crest that he shoots. But he gets out there, and they're out there posted up, and like, so, like, we ran the information on the Razor Crest, and we find out that, you know, you were the guy that broke in, you have a bounty on you, or you have a warrant out for your arrest because you broke into this New Republic cruiser. But looking at the security footage, you did this, that, and the third, which thus now, you know, makes it to where it's like, oh, it's kind of a mixture of things. And to me, it was a very interesting moment where it's like, where Mando says, you know, am I under arrest? Because it's like he doesn't want to admit to anything. It's like the plead the fifth thing, right? And they're like, you know, seeing as the good you did with trying to protect that one officer, which was the officer played by Matt Lantern, I believe. Seeing how you did this and that, like, you know, maybe we'll call it even. You get that transponder bit that you need to work on the ship properly. And, you know, maybe next time we want you to blow you out the sky. And it's a real kind of cool moment. And they go and they take off. And then, you know, Den does a few fixes for the ship. Ship takes off, and it's broken down, like it's in bad shape, barely able to fly, barely able to get off the planet. It's a bumpy ride, but it's gonna go sublight to their next location. And I'm assuming next episode's gonna open up with that shot from the trailer where it's just drifting out in space. But it all turned out, you know, to be pretty cool and a pretty fun episode. My whole thing about the filler stuff and about, you know, this episode not being important, I think the episode's very important to show and illustrate some more of how the Mando is with his relationship with the child, to show how, again, it's the creed of the Mandalorian people and how he wants to be a Mandalorian, what being a Mandalorian really means. It's not the armor, it's about what's in you. It's about what you do. It's about what you do and why you do it. And so those bits and pieces I think are really interesting when they put them together so well, and I really feel like it's going to be something that's going to be nice to kind of see that come to fruition. The other big part where I say it's, you know, I don't fully see it as like a filler episode is that the bit with the New Republic there, I think is important, because if it comes down to this fight against the Empire, or this Imperial remainment against Moff Gideon, all this comes into being something bigger, and it's going to be something bigger than what he can fight himself. Having some good ties with the New Republic would be helpful. And that's just kind of my thought with it. It may not be the case. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but like, that's just kind of my thoughts with it, just in general. So I enjoyed the episode. It was a really good episode. It was fun. I enjoy watching The Mandalorian every Friday. I'm looking forward to next week. I hope you guys are liking these reviews as well too. It's the second review I've done. It's a different type of review format that I haven't really done in a very long time. So I apologize if you guys don't really like them too much, or if you think, you know, I can improve them, shorten down the time span with what I'm talking. I'm not scripting these out. I'm just talking off the dome about the bits and pieces that I like of the episode. And there's bare minimum editing to these right now, as you guys can tell. But I hope you guys do enjoy my review. I'll hopefully see you guys again next week for another review, and hopefully if I can get my other people to connect with me, I'll be able to do this round robin type of a discussion, recapping the episode and what we think about it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time, guys, may the force be with you always. I'll see you next time. Bye.